Welcome to the Raven Space. Thank you guys for joining me. And today we're going to play All Pro or Heck No with Chris Sims and Mike Florio. Let's go.
Saucer, finna run the Boston, drippin' like a faucet. Haters get a ball, look at me stunt. I don't do it often. Boy, I'm sick. Excuse my coughing.
Welcome to the channel. Please subscribe. Again, we are for the fans here on the Raven Space. So please subscribe and share. Help us grow. Now, let's get into the video.
Back J.K. Dobbins from the PUP list, tore an ACL in the final preseason game last year. Remember, it was like one guy after another, Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins, and Dobbins was great. He averaged 6 yards per carry in 2020 as a rookie, led all NFL running backs. And there was a question, there was a back and forth earlier this year, I think, with him and Ian Rappaport about whether or not he's going to be ready for week one. Also, the Ravens are happy to welcome back J.K. Dobbins from the PUP list. Tore an ACL in the final preseason game last year. Remember,
it's a little whoa, I guess. So, J.K., we all knew he was coming back. So, not any big news there.
Great. He averaged 6 yards per carry in 2020 as a rookie, led all NFL running backs. And there was a question, there was a back and forth earlier this year.
Wow. Again, I wasn't even aware of that. Wow, 6 yards a carry. If he can do that again, we are definitely in the playoffs, of course. And hopefully, we can make it far. 6 yards a carry is a whole lot, man. A whole lot.
I think with him and Ian Rappaport about whether or not he's going to be ready for week one. All signs are he's going to be ready for week one. And think about how the Ravens fought and scratched and clawed last year through all of that adversity from preseason. They come into the year with a stacked deck, and they keep it together. They're a team to be reckoned with, not just in the conference, but in that.
And shout out to John Harbaugh on this specific point here. We can tell that they went into the lab. And the thing about coaching that, some of us don't understand is that, when you call plays, the X's and O's, that's important. Of course, John doesn't call plays, but you know what I'm saying. John sets the philosophy, but John also sets the lunch schedule. He also sets the workout schedule. You know what I'm saying? He also has a voice in all that. He's the one that says, hey, it's okay to have ice cream trucks here. Hey, it's okay to do this and that. It's okay to set the culture that's fun and loving, but also we put in that work. So he does a lot more. And again, the fact that they've changed and tweaked the way they train and the way they cool down and things like that. Shout out to John. Again, one of the best coaches in the league for a reason.
That Bengals, Steelers, Browns, AFC North.
Yes, I'm glad you said that. That's where I was going. I mean, watch out for the Ravens. Watch out. They were killed by injuries last year, just absolutely ravaged. And again, it's a running football team. They're built around their genius in Greg Roman and the run schemes. And Ronnie Stanley was hurt, right? I mean, they had issues. They had no Orlando Bloom. This year, or Orlando Brown, excuse me. This year, you hope to have
Orlando. Did you
Bloom? I know. I just want
Orlando Bloom. That's funny. Ronnie Stanley, again, if he comes back, that's a giant boost. If he's 80% of the player that he was at his height of his power, I'm hoping he comes back, but I haven't heard anything on him, so we'll see. But we know a lot of people have come back. Dobbins, Peters, a lot of people. Brandon Stevens has come back too. Brandon Steffens has come back too at the cornerback position. So a lot of good news. But hopefully Ron needs some more.
I wanted to give Katy Perry's husband a little love.
Ronald Reagan, the actor.
But yeah, I mean, I think that is a very real thing. I think we got to get back into Baltimore's a legit Super Bowl contender. When you evaluate the culture of their team, the people they got on their team, there's a lot of talent across the board. And I think a year like last year where, they just missed out and all that, I definitely have Baltimore as one of those teams, Mark, to go, watch out, didn't make the playoffs last year, but I think is a serious Super Bowl contender this year.
Yeah, look, I agree with you completely. And there's a lot of Super Bowl contenders in the AFC.
It's insane.
But it all comes.
That's 100% true. There's a lot of Super Bowl contenders in the AFC. A lot of great quarterbacks. Is going to be challenging.
Down to all these little things we're talking about. Injuries, motivation. There's a target on the Bengals. There's no target on the Ravens. There's nothing on the Ravens. That suits them perfectly.
Let's go.
Because when you have a team that is being overlooked. Number one, they don't get a big head. You don't have to worry about that. If you're John Harbaugh, you don't have to worry about anybody reading their press clippings preseason. Nobody thinks anything of the Ravens. And then he can turn around and use it as a chip on his shoulder.
Exactly.
Nobody believes in you guys.
Exactly.
It's the perfect double whammy to be overlooked when you have a good team and nobody's paying attention.
That's right. We know John Harbaugh. He's the chippiest of the chippies. I mean, he is. You know he's feeding the beast there and pouring gasoline on the fire with that conversation. Plus, as we've talked about with certain teams, they just seem to collect those kind of guys anyways.
Great. I mean, we have one of the best locker rooms in football. And we got players who are chippy, who want to fight. When your quarterback is Lamar Jackson, and y'all see Lamar when it's heated and it's game time, Lamar is about it. Okay, we've seen Mark Andrews is about it. Okay, John is about it. John Harbaugh about it. Everybody, when the going gets tough, we get going. That's why we come back from so many late game scenarios. We don't want to do that, but we do. So that is a plus. But again, we're chippy. We're ready to go.
Kind of collect the guys that are like, wait, we haven't been in a bar fight in a few days. What's wrong with this? Let's get in a bar fight. We like that. That's what we do. I always say they pillage the biggest, baddest dudes on the planet every year. And they've improved their secondary.
I'm a fan of Chris Sims. I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to be a little, he can sway me. I ain't going to lie to you guys. So he feeling like an all-pro right now.
O-line should be healthy. If the running backs are healthy along with it, don't worry about all the, oh, no, they don't have great receivers. They got enough there. They got some young receivers and a tight end that are really damn good and an electric quarterback. And, the new fresh look on defense here without Wink Martindale. So I am very excited to see what they bring to the table. And I think you're right.
I am excited about the defense, specifically all the things he named. I want to see it, and I want to break it down. I want to break it down with you guys. It's going to be fun to break that down. I'm excited about that. So
I think they're one of those teams that's going to be on a mission, and especially with a quarterback that, I don't know, it's still the weirdest contract situation ever.
Ain't happening.
No, I'm agreeing.
So it's going to even have him more motivated.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Here.
Exactly right. So he's going to be more motivated on top of his game.
I don't agree with that. I think the contract will get done. Basically, this is what I understand of it from all the reading I've been doing, is that Lamar basically wants around the second or third highest paid quarterback, but fully guaranteed. The Ravens don't want to fully guarantee. Basically, they're okay with making him the second to third highest paid quarterback in the league. Maybe even the first. You know how contract wording is. Guaranteed, no guaranteed, guaranteed bonus, blah blah blah. So they don't have a problem with that, but the fully guaranteed part, they do have a problem with, like every other team in the NFL, right? The only team that's given a big contract like that's fully guaranteed is the Browns for Deshaun Watson. And so that's going to be a big deal. Again, all the other quarterbacks that you guys know, their contracts aren't fully guaranteed. Josh Allen's contract is not fully guaranteed. Patrick Mahomes' contract is not fully guaranteed. I don't believe Aaron Rodgers' contract is fully guaranteed. The only one that has a fully guaranteed giant contract, again, is Deshaun Watson. You cut Deshaun Watson today, he's getting all that money, right? If you cut Patrick Mahomes today, he doesn't get the money 2 years out. So that's a big holdup, I believe.
So he can maybe get to the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl and then be like, here, make me the highest paid player in the NFL. Exactly.
Joe Flacco, 10 years later, the exact Joe Flacco situation. Best off.
And again, even if, to be fair, even if you don't have a Joe Flacco situation, let's say Lamar just says no, right? If you try to give him less than he wants, he just says no. You're going to start over? You bet the whole team around Lamar. The Ravens have no leverage here, right? Other than starting over. And again, if we lose Lamar again and get a quarterback that's not as good as Lamar, which again, most quarterbacks who've ever played the game of football are not as good as Lamar. So just to think another one's going to come out the blue is crazy. And so again, that would be a big blow to our team. We would basically have to reformat the entire team. The only reason that we don't have a lot of big-time receivers is because we've chosen to play a certain way. And so you've paid people in contracts based on that way. So now you put in a regular quarterback. Let's just say you put in an average quarterback, right? A Mitchell Trubisky, something like that. Your offense has one great person to throw the ball to, and that's Mark Andrews. Other than that, you're done. And when history has shown, especially recent history, if your team is throwing to a tight end as your best receiver without the playmaking ability of Lamar Jackson, you're in trouble. You were in trouble.
Offer made by the Ravens. No, thank you. I'll go win the Super Bowl. I'll go be the MVP of the Super Bowl, and then you're going to have to make me the highest paid player in football. Even then, I'm not sure the Ravens and Lamar Jackson can work out a contract without an agent, but that's for down the road. You mentioned offensive line. There is one injury issue, and it is right at the heart of the offensive line. First-round center Tyler Linderbaum. There was a report that he has a Lisfranc injury in his foot. Obviously, that's never a good thing. Here's John Harbaugh talking about that yesterday to reporters.
I'm sorry I put you through the table.
Sorry I tried to steal your lunch.
Keep it in the ring, boys. Get frozen peas, duct tape, sushi, and more reasons to rumble from your neighborhood.
There was a medical note report that Linderbaum was dealing with a Lisfranc sprain. Is that new information? That's not true. It's not true. It's not a Lisfranc sprain. There's a ligament. It's not that ligament. It's a different ligament. So he's had the Lisfranc before. There's no separation. There's no Lisfranc sprain per se. That's my understanding. I'm not a doctor, but I play one of the
again. If you guys are really watching the Ravens, and all the news, you know that Linderbaum is okay. He's expected to be back next week. Practicing, of course. I don't think he'll play in that final preseason game. He definitely won't play in the second one, but he won't play in the
Not a
final.
Liz Frank. Now, look, he's got an issue he's got to work through. But, hey, anything other than a season-ending injury is a bonus after what John Harbaugh was used to last year in training camp in the preseason. He's going to be gone for a little while. That's fine. At least I know I'm going to get him back at some point, unlike all those guys that we lost last year.
Say it again.
One of those we'll
anything's better than last season.
Classic. We heard so much about Sam Mills over the weekend. 5'9". The stories Jason Garrett told, 5'9", too small to play in the NFL, too small to play in the CFL, goes to the USFL and shows that height doesn't matter. And Linderbaum, he would have been taken much, much higher if he checked the boxes.
Right.
He very well may check the boxes by kicking the asses at the heart of the offensive line when it's time to go to business.
Hey, I fall in that trap to a degree. I get ready to turn on the film with him, and I go, man, he's only this big. I'm a fan of, big effers, especially up front. I want their asses to be big. I want their thighs to be big, and I want them to be up.
And again, this is football, right? The size matters. Sorry, it does. So
the lean and wear people out. And I think that's Baltimore. It's what they got on the offensive line for the most part. Except this guy, even though undersized, is just so special. You turn on the film and you go, oh, okay. So what? He's 298 or 302. I don't know. I watch college football, Big Ten football. Nobody ever moves the damn guy. Nobody can do anything. And you get to see him play against NFL caliber talent and that. And he's incredibly athletic. To me, he's the closest thing I've seen to Jason Kelce since I've been on this side of the business as far as, that athletic, really athletic.
That's a great comparison. I mean, Jason Kelce is a monster. He was a monster. So, again, that's a great comparison. I can't wait to see Tyler play in the regular season. Let me know in the comments below if you can't wait.
Get on the edge, but also can handle the power of the big guys that are right in his face after he has to snap the ball. Yeah, I hope he is okay. I want to see the Ravens at full strength. I do. They're fun to watch.
I do too.
They're a fun team as far as their culture and the edge they bring to it, and they're the bullies of the NFL. And I like to see them at full strength this year. I certainly would. So I'm hoping that he'll be okay and the rest of their O-line will be okay. I don't know if the rest of the AFC North has those sentiments, but I certainly do.
We have said so much about how compelling the games played among the teams of the AFC West will be this year. We have given short shrift to how compelling the games played among the teams of the AFC North will be. The Steelers are going to be better than people realize. The Ravens are being overlooked. The Bengals are the bullies of the block.
A tough division. We have a tough division.
Who the hell knows at this point?
But they got talent on that
without
team.
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
They've got a good defense and they've got a good offense. They've got things, and they will be that team that everyone's like, without Deshaun Watson, they're going to stink. No. And again, you don't get a big head, and you also have a chip on your shoulder. A great opportunity for Kevin Stefanski.
Awesome. So I'm going to give this one an all-pro, man. Some great points there. I think we will have a chip on our shoulder, and I think we're going to come out punching and swinging. Last season was really an unfortunate loss season that we kept alive as long as we could. When Lamar went down, I mean, there's nothing you can do there, right? But think about it, man. If we were healthy, to be honest, we would have been in the Super Bowl and not the Bengals, because we were a better team than they were. It's just the injuries caught up to us. And we're playing with tackles that weren't ready for the big time. We're playing with running backs who are a little older. We're playing with DBs. I'm not gonna call any names, but that we're getting roasted on a play-by-play basis. And then that didn't help, with Wake Martindale bringing 8 every single time on a blitz. So last season, it was the worst thing that could happen to us at every single level. So I think this season will be much better. I'm excited to see us play. Remember, thank you guys so much. We love your support. Drop a like, subscribe, leave a comment. We appreciate you guys. Thank you. Go Ravens.